Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be on the Tonite Show.
This is the 49365 podcast.
And faithful, stand up, baby.
We back at it, y'all. 49365, the podcast. You already know what it is. The Tonite Show coming to you on a Wednesday night special edition. Couldn't do last night. Had to make some scheduling changes, but we here now. My name is B. Amechi. It's positive energy and good vibes. And as always, I'm with JB.
What's poppin', B? What's poppin', faithful? Man, I'm on this phone right now. Got the headphones in, man. I'm feeling real official right now.
Oh yeah, man. He got his headphones in, man. We stepping the game up. The production quality is definitely on the rise, man. But we in that point of the offseason where honestly I feel like it's not too much going on with the 49ers. I know it was the owners meeting. We had a few quotes, so a few more, some context so we can further analyze, but really it's not too much going on. I think some of the fans out there, maybe that's their issue. They really want more activity. But I think we can start off with maybe something, left field, man. I know you were tweeting a lot about the whole Will Smith slap situation. Every single person had to have their response on it, from Colin Cowherd to Speak for Yourself to any sports, Stephen A. Smith, whatever. So, it's definitely the world of entertainment. That side of the sports world is definitely reacting to this. So we got to tap in and give our opinion. I know you were tweeting throughout. I guess that was the first one that you had watched in a while, or maybe ever.
Like the Oscars?
Yeah. I know you tweeted something like that, right?
I mean, they be on, but I never really sit down and watch.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, so my mom might have it on, but we kind of, I don't want to say we sat down and watched the whole thing, but I seen that in live action. So
okay, yeah. So I definitely did not, and I wasn't even. I had traveled to New York this week, and I was I don't even know what I was doing at the time. I think I was at like a hookah bar or something, and it was all over social media. It was going crazy, and just like I said, everybody getting their takes in. What especially watching it live, you thought it was fake at first, right?
For sure thought it was fake. I for sure thought it was fake. I seen it. I was like, I mean, it just looks so fake. He just walking up, slapped him and walked away. And it was okay, that's fake,
Mm-hmm.
And then, it wasn't until, and then, I'm sitting there with my mom and my wife, and we in there watching it, and then they kind of no, that was real, and not, me, I'm like, no, that's not real. That's not real. So we kind of debating that, and then the moment I knew it was real was when I heard the unedited version.
Japanese joint.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh no, that was real. The way he was yelling, that wasn't no fake. So that was crazy though.
So what, okay, we had the context of, your wife's there watching with you, your mom is there. What is I guess, what did you take away from it, if anything? That's really, what did you take away from it? Because it was, one of the most memorable moments in TV history. That's really what they deeming it. And I don't disagree with that. It's kind of crazy. So what is, your takeaway from it?
I mean, few days removed, I honestly think it's I don't be buying into the whole he was protecting his wife. I don't buy into that narrative, because I guess my opinion is, I like what Shannon Sharp said. Was his wife, he basically was talking about, was his wife protecting him? All them red table talks where she talking about August, and she talking about Will don't make her happy. And she just, basically how I feel is this. I feel like bro he's been demasculated in the media by his wife, by the woman. And now he wants to slap this dude because he disrespected her. And all that alopecia thing, to me, that's just a cop out, because I seen a post where she posted days previously or something like that. It was I'm comfortable with my hair, one thing. I'm I'm good, just. So at the end of the day, I feel like it wasn't about protecting her. I feel like Will Smith he's been demasculated. I feel like it's kind of protecting his image. No, I'm about to ride. I'm about to, and it was honestly,
the second after he laughed too, which is a whole thing that, but go ahead.
Yeah, man. So it was kind of and like I said, I just feel like, you talking about? I think Jada, man, is toxic for this.
Yeah,
I just think it's just a
yeah.
toxic thing. But that's kind
Hey
of I just
man, hey, you got to
go ahead.
say it. Like, there's a lot of us, thinking. I mean, it just seems like, first of all, talking about this, I just feel dirty, honestly, talking about this. But it's like it's such a big story and it's such a big thing. Like, of course, everybody, has their perspective in it. And so much of like even talking to sports, like talking to Niners, like I just like being a part of these mass conversations, whether it like spills into race or spills into like whatever topic, because I feel like there's certain minority opinions or just different unique perspectives that aren't always heard in the conversation. So that's like the part that I enjoy about tapping in on things like this. But I do feel like, it's like, I don't know, they've had a lot of things going on in their relationship, and at the end of the day, like nobody really knows because we not there, we not close to them. Like, how will we really know? Although you probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but there was a family member of ours that I remember way back was saying something about their relationship, and that always is the context of like how I viewed their relationship. And again, that's some he said, she said, like, just talking about what people are already saying in the media about, the whole the swinging aspect of their relationship, the open aspects of their relationship, in that whole Hollywood world and whatnot. But I don't even know if you even know what I'm talking about, but somebody mentioned something
Yeah,
like that to me
I don't
way
remember
back.
that. I don't remember that. And there has been a lot of like the rumors about
Yeah.
swinging and all that type of thing. But at
Mhm.
the end of the day, a lot of the issues are coming from her mouth and their drama and them red table talks where
Yeah.
like I don't know if you've watched. I haven't watched a lot. I ain't gonna
I've
say I
seen
watched a lot of them,
clips, you know what I'm
but
saying? I've
I've
never
seen
watched one.
I seen the whole first of all the whole August thing, the entanglement. Like people want to act like, oh, they have a understanding. Like that didn't seem like no understanding. That didn't seem like no understanding. And so it's in the way she talks about Will, it's kind of like it's like, yeah, he don't know. It's been all you gotta do is search. Just search Jada Pinkett,
Absolutely.
and she kind of talk about like he don't. She kind of demasculated, bro. That's just how I
Yeah.
feel. I feel like bro was being demasculated by her,
Yeah.
and yeah, then she get look like she getting mad, and so I don't know what was going on in his mind through that thing, but I just
Yeah.
kind of feel like it kind of was like a sucker move. Honestly, it's just
Yes.
like thinking back, that's kind of how I feel.
I mean, so we gonna get to this Niner talk, eventually. I gotta get my opinion on this though, man. Make sure y'all tap in at 49x365, excuse me. Subscribe, like all that good stuff. We gonna get to this content, but we gotta talk about the culture. So that's what we doing. Appreciate everybody in the comment section. So yeah, like my whole 2 cents is there's an infinite ways to respond. There's always an infinite number of ways to respond,
For
and more
sure.
times than not, you can always respond better. I always give the caveat that like it's a live situation, so it's easy for us as a society, people watching and be like, oh, this is how somebody should have reacted. This is what should have happened. This is what I would have done. This is what, but it's like when things are in motion, it's a real life situation. I will say there's an infinite number of ways he responded. Number one, I think like there's the comedy aspect of it, right? Of like somebody who's hosting in a reward show. I don't know. Did you see the clip? I think you may have.
2016.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
like you talked
yeah,
about
yeah.
you talked about the table talk and the whole like their whole relationship aspects where he feels, being demasculated and like that's a buildup. But then there's also, I feel like maybe, I don't know, but there's also that context that may play into it of like, just the things that Chris Rock said about
For sure, for
him and
sure.
her, you know what I'm saying, in the past.
And
I
that's
don't know if
another
that
thing I
festers.
want. That's another
Go
thing I
ahead.
want to say. Like comedians and just
Yeah.
people talking like
Yeah.
being kind of disrespectful. Like
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it seem like that's just okay. And like
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes that is kind of like, oh, you're supposed to just
Hmm.
people just talk a little too loosely
Yeah.
these days. And Chris Rock definitely, like, if you talking a lot of you talk and it's in fun, but it's kind of like who really wants to be made fun of,
Yeah.
and so it's like that's what you do though.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's tough. The comedian, I mean, for me with the whole comedy aspect of it, like it's kind of like, somebody makes fun of, every single race and then they talk about your race and you get hella mad. It's like, it's just kind of like if you're gonna get upset, because a lot of people are saying, I know if she had the whole condition that makes her balding, but it's not like everything is fair games with I feel like especially being from Oakland, it's like a roast culture we have. And it's like we just always, you just always grow up like you just roast and you have to react to that and be able to be quick with it, all those sort of things too. But like, I guess back to my main point, there's an infinite ways that Will could have responded. Like I thought, like, and again, it's easy looking on the sideline, not being real time, but like, okay, he said something about her hair. He could have kissed her on her forehead and be like, and she's still beautiful, or something like that. He could have like literally like walked away, been like, I'm done with this shit. He could have handled it after the whole, I know it was public, call out, but he could have handled it privately. He could have, there's an infinite number of ways.
He could have pulled up to him backstage.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like there's an infinite number of ways if you really want to like, handle your business. But I was talking to my fiance about it, and she made a good point. I feel like it's just, and he kind of alluded to this in his speech. I feel like he was trying to, the whole King Richard role. I always feel like, playing a role, if you're a really, really good actor, like he's role.
He's an actor. There you go.
He's an actor. You know what I'm saying?
Actor.
And every role, though, I feel like takes a toll on you. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes like something from you, especially the ones that are fresh that you just kind of did. And I feel like he was bringing like that King Richard energy, which is a great movie, by the way. I love that movie. I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
I haven't seen it.
It was a dope movie. It was actually
I keep hearing about it.
But yeah, it was, he I feel like he was taking some of that energy, and he is an actor. So all those, that's why I thought it was fake at first. So I'm like, these guys, it's an actor. This just seemed like, I don't know, a situation where, like you said, he could take control of. He's been hearing all this about Will Smith, all the memes, all the entanglement, all the, for a few years now. And then it's like, this was his opportunity. But the funny thing about that, though, is I feel like, I don't know, people have different opinions on him slapping Chris Rock, but I feel like, it doesn't really give him points on, like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't feel like you were hella emotional and just,
some people it does give them points.
To some people, yeah,
like some people is like, I feel like some people are like, yeah, that's how you, yeah. Some people need to get slapped, and then there's some people like, yeah, he was standing up for his queen, he's standing up for his wife, and so there's that side, but I do feel like, that I definitely looking at it like, bro, that was kind of weak, and yeah, the acting part, like you kind of just acting like you just is everything an act with you? Like what is? Like, it just seems like you're just so like, even the speech. I mean, it was a real speech, but it's just like
speech it was a lot. It was theatrical, man, and it was like very like it was just a lot, man. I'm like, man, like this shit is crazy. And like we didn't even talk about the aspects of like, of course it's unacceptable, of course, like, and not to say it's right or wrong, but it's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if other people would have done that, that's one thing I think with the race thing. Like if that was like a white host, you know what I'm saying? Like, would that have even happened? How would the reaction have been?
No,
like
if Will Smith was white.
If Will Smith was white, okay, that aspect too. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just a lot of like, and then, it's just what ifs. Those just run through your head with something like that. But anyways, I don't know if you had any other comments on the situation, but it was just, I know you had to talk about it. I seen you tweeting about it and everything. I was like,
that shit was like prime. That shit was one of the most like popcorn.
They said it was
moments.
like, Tyson Holyfield with the ear biting. Like it was like one of those moments in history where it was like, do you remember where you were at when this happened? Like this,
bro, because I mean, like I said, like that shit just seemed so fake. Like I'm like, bro, like okay, like it's just Chris Rock and Will Smith. I didn't know they had beef or whatever. I'm just like, oh, they planned this, like trying to be funny or some shit. But like, this shit was real. This nigga Will was really fed up.
He was, man. He had enough, man. He had to go I Am Legend on him one time, man. So, but yeah, and then Chris Rock to be able to keep things going. But anyways, man, let's keep things going. And talk a little bit about this. Like I said, it's slow time. There's not a lot going on right now. Tonight, we'll let you know if there's breaking news. I'm checking Twitter, but it looks like Bobby Wagner has some big news according to Richard Sherman coming soon. We know that the Cowboys, they said that was a no.
What happened?
The Cowboys, Stephen Jones said that it wasn't going to happen with Wagner. I know that was one of the teams that like he was considering. And so I don't know if this was like any sort of report or like Richard Sherman said these are the teams he thought he would go to, or if like, there are some reports that said he was kneeling towards these teams. But I know Jesse Naylor had tweeted that he thought it was going to be the Ravens or the Rams. And I know the Rams were in reports, but I don't know about the Ravens.
Because he took visits to both. But he
okay.
He didn't, I don't think I don't remember hearing him visit the Niners.
Yeah, and I know there was like, talk about the Eagles being a team that has a lack of solid play at the linebacker position. So I know I'm gonna throw that team out there too. But for me, I didn't hear any talk about the Niners. I just never like that doesn't make any sense to me for him to go to the Niners. Like we would have to, I just don't see why we would have a logjam at linebackers like that. And I get it, like, because these are good players. Like, Hall of Fame worthy players and whatnot. But it's like it's the similar thing with the running back position, and you can put safety into this too if you want to. But I feel like more so the linebacker and running back, there are these positions that in 2022. Like, it's great if you have a good one, like, for sure, invest in it, all those sort of things. But do you need to pay Jerick McKinnon like that much money? And I know he got hurt, so we didn't really get to see what the full vision was. But do you need to play a running back like Jerick McKinnon that much money? Do you need to play Fred Warner? Fred Warner is different. He's homegrown. So I feel like there's always more incentive to keep guys that are homegrown, like, and just reward them, because I feel like it's more than just getting a player. It's a message to the team. It's a message to the league. Like, we take care of guys. Like, I don't know if it was Grant who's breaking it down or somebody, but when you really think about it, highest paid tight end, we did that. Highest paid linebacker, we did that. Highest paid quarterback at the time, we did that. Like, so it's highest paid left tackle, we did that. You know what I'm saying? So like, it is setting a precedent of, like, you know, we take care of guys, which I think is a good sign in general. But people are also going to be wanting that. Debo and Nick Bosa being next. But like, I feel like, yeah, with the linebacker, like, how would that even really fit with our team? My prediction is that he's going to the Los Angeles Rams or the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't have any.
He's from LA, right?
He's from LA. I do have a source. How am I say this? I do have somebody who's in Wagner's team. I do. I have a close friend who's in Wagner's team, but she basically works for him. She's like his PR, strategist and whatnot. But she knows like damn near nothing about football. And I don't think she was like, she's not somebody who would even have information like that. Like, I have pressed her for that, but she wouldn't even know. So I don't really have any sources to this, but I do feel like he's just going to go to an LA team. I just feel like that's going to be the case. What do you think about the prospect of him going to the Niners? And then on the flip side, the prospect of seeing him with the Rams, because it's crazy when you win a Super Bowl, like, and you had somebody on your team like Tom Brady, or you win a Super Bowl. And it's LA. You had that advantage too. But also when you win a Super Bowl, or if you have like a Tom Brady on your team, somebody like that, you like automatically have another advantage because people will like take less just to go there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's going to be looked at from the outside looking in, which is big when you talk about egos and things like that, especially if you're being cut. What was it, $20 million that you're supposed to get, and being cut from that and whatnot? Like, that has to do something to you. But when you go to like your hometown team and it's a Super Bowl team, like, I feel like it doesn't matter. People aren't going to look at that like, oh, like he's only making this much, because everybody counts people's money these days. Like, it looks a lot better when you go to a Super Bowl team, so you can argue like, I'm trying to win, and it's your hometown team. So I feel like everything is just aligned where they can just offer him nothing and he'll still go there. And it's unfortunate because I feel like linebacker is a position that they're generally been pretty weak at. But we'll see what happens there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be I don't want to say catastrophic, but I mean, like the Rams, like, bro, calm down. Like, okay, y'all lose Von Miller, but y'all get Wagner. So, hopefully that doesn't work. And in terms of the money, I mean, he's older, so I don't think that whatever he gets is gonna be like, record, like, at the top. Like, I hope not at the top of the class. Like, I hope he's not gonna be at the top. Like, okay, he's getting top 3 linebacker money. So, I mean, he's on the back end of his career, like, for real. So, I don't know, man. Hopefully, I mean, if we were able to get him, like, all this money talk, man, it's like, bro, like, what does money even mean, like, in terms of a team? Like, because it's just like,
future years. I just feel like it's not to cut you off, but I feel like it's like, especially with the Saints or like teams like that. And then there's people who be like, oh, well, you see how it is affecting them. It's like, bro, is it really? I just feel like the whole strategy of putting things always to future years, like, yeah, I mean, like, why not? Like, I feel like that's a whole play. Like, and teams are doing that and getting around. I definitely wanted to invest in some, books kind of going over the high level aspects and the details of NFL contracts, the cap, how it all works. But until I do that research for myself, and until I see a lot of these fans out there doing the same, I really don't want to talk about the cap as if I really know what it's about, because we don't. And there's a lot of things that go into it that these agents are doing. A lot of maneuvering around things. You see what Deshaun Watson did with his contract, which is a whole situation. I don't even know if you saw the whole deposition video. I want to get into that. But anyways,
no,
I'll let you keep going.
I didn't see it. But yeah, man, I mean, like, I just feel like Bobby Wagner and Fred Warner, like, together, that would be a pretty.
Do you think that would be better than Bowman and Willis?
Just different. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like it's different. Like,
I don't even want to compare errors.
It's hard to compare, but like, it just, I mean, Bowman and Willis was like Niner to the core. Like, this is This dude is from Seattle.
Yeah, it's Sherman energy if that happens. Yeah,
exactly. Like I said, all right, he's gonna be like he's like a pro. I look
yeah,
at Bobby Wagner like a pro, like not
yeah.
like a bleed red and gold type. But yeah, I don't know. I think that would just be epic if we were able to get him. So I'm with it. Like like I said, I'm with it. Like in terms of the money, like I'm sure we're not gonna like just pay like just some extremely I did you listen to Kyle Shanahan pressure
I listened to some clips. I didn't see the full thing though.
full thing in it? He said they were just talking about free agency, and he was like, yeah, I mean free agency is basically it is overpaying. So it's like, yeah, if we get, I'm sure if we were able to get him, we would overpay, but hopefully it wouldn't be too much. But yeah, bro, I would let that.
Did you see his comments on Travarius Ward?
Shanahan?
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about how he was juiced about getting him and talking about man, did you see, man, let's talk about that. Like, dog, like the press conference, it was like, I don't know what it was, but it was like, I don't know if I heard somebody tweet this and talking about Shanahan look hella like tired and shit. And so I looked at this press conference and his eyes was just so like, bro, like the eyes just big ass, just hella big ass bags, and then like his voice, I'm like, bro, is bro sick, or like did he lose his voice? Or, yes. Like it was like, did he lose his voice, or is he like, does he have a cold or some shit? Because his voice just seemed hella weary, like hella weary, bro. Like just kind of like, I don't know. That's just how I've seen him. Like, bro, just like, what's going on, man? Like, how many years of coaching do you have left in you, bro?
Yeah, I wonder that with Shanahan and I wonder that, I guess, in general with like new age coaches, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like it's also the money factor and like what they could be doing alternatively. Like, Sean McVay got offered like, I don't know how much they really offered him at Amazon, but that companies like that changing the game. I don't think Shanahan would be a TV guy. He doesn't have the charisma at all to do something like that, like at all. But like, even guys like Sean McVay, it's like, man, how long are you have to be coaching? Like these young guys who came in so young and whatnot, like you're making so much money, your quality of life, you got a family. So it is something to consider, because Shanahan, it looks like every year it's really taking a toll on him. And I definitely physically can see that too. I didn't get the sense that he was sick per se, but
like when I say sick, I mean like not like I mean like with a cold,
tired and just
bro.
Yeah, he just looked like I don't know, man. Like I just be feeling sometimes with Shanahan, it's like, damn, like I don't know, like with John Lynch, he I feel like John Lynch sometimes is a little stressed, a little like looking, but his job is completely different. I get that his job is way less, it's like he's not doing what Shanahan's doing day in and day out, putting in game plans, all the work that goes into that, studying the next team. John Lynch ain't doing it to that extent, so I get it. But John still has that, and they're just different people, right? But John has that. He just feel like he enjoys this, you know what I'm saying? And with Shanahan, sometimes I just question, like to your point, like it's like how long are you really about to be doing this? Like, do you really enjoy this? Like, and I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is like making too much out of it, but I feel like having a young quarterback that's gonna grow with you for your duration, like God willing, everything works out with that situation, and Trey is just like the future, and they have a relationship, and basically their careers are tied together. I think that's something that could infuse like. It's just one less thing to like think about all of the past 3 years and the injuries, the quarterback situation, like all these different things. Like if you have like that quarterback position solved and you feel comfortable with it, I'm not saying Trey is the, MVP in the league and stuff, but I'm saying if it's like a good quarterback that you're not going to be looking elsewhere for, maybe that's going to add to alleviating things for him, bringing some joy to coaching a little bit more than it looks right now. But yeah, I saw a few things. I saw his response on Travarius Ward, which is like, I don't know. We didn't really talk too much about that signing, but my biggest thing that I like about that is the fact that he don't really have a lot of penalties, and he got targeted a lot. And I feel like, especially for our team, like that's a good sign. Like, it just seems like somebody from what I watched the film who seems incredibly like calm and collected. You know how DBs get frantic at times when you're at that truth point. I just feel like it's not like he's a ball hawk or like, JC Jackson or anything like that, but I just feel like he has that calmness that I think is really key, especially in our defense. So I'm looking forward to that's actually a dope sign, and we'll see how good he is. Yeah, man. What else? Off-season talk from the pressures that you get from whether it's John Lynch or whether it's Shanahan.
I mean, I guess the biggest thing is the surgery gate. So it's the surgery, man. Like, I feel like the surgery is kind of what I guess that's what they're making it seem like. You know, that that Jimmy G surgery is really the reason why he's still a
Hey, yo,
Niner.
whose painting is that in the back? What is that? The one with the
Which one?
roses, the hoodie with the roses to your left.
Oh, this one? Oh shit. I don't remember. Somebody, some artist. Like
That's
I
dope.
forget.
That's dope.
Yeah.
We got to represent right now for all the up and coming artists and shit. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
what's that?
I got the Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? Had to support the homie. You know what I mean?
Oh Vine. Oh Vine.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ain't even seen this shit.
You got some heat. You know what I mean? So definitely had to tap in one time. But my bad, I completely cut you off. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I was just talking about the surgery. Like
Yeah.
the
Oh
surgery,
yeah.
bro.
This is
What
the
you
big
think
thing.
about the surgery? What you think about the surgery?
I mean, they frame it like they weren't ready for it. I mean, I feel like again, I am the pessimist one when it comes to this topic with Jimmy G and stuff because I just feel like the surgery. Again, what do I know, bro? Like, what do I know? Like, it's hard for me to even comment on injuries because it's like literally, what do I know? I don't know anything about the severity. Like, it seems like it's clear that the team didn't think that he was going to get surgery or needed surgery, and he got surgery anyways. Now, the question then becomes, why was that the case? Was it like my whole argument was like, does that really help Jimmy G's trade? What does he think? Like, what is this team thinking? They want to get cut? Did they think this was an avenue to get cut? Did they think this was an avenue to nobody's going to want to trade me, so they're going to have to keep me at my money? And
You saying what's Jimmy G's avenue?
yeah, what
Oh,
is his like process? Assuming that the surgery isn't per se needed, if that makes sense. Like let's say you just got the surgery as an elective, and it's not just health based and all those sort of things. Like, what is the angle with it? Is it just like to me? Because like the way I look at it is, I don't know if teams would like. Let's say he didn't get surgery. Okay, then what? I don't know if there's just teams lining up to get him. I don't know if Indianapolis makes that move. Clearly, things worked out with them with Matt Ryan and the whole Deshaun Watson situation. Like that, was something that the team probably didn't anticipate. But clearly, things worked out for them. And I don't know that they would have gone for Jimmy G. Like other teams, the Carolina, would they have just been gun ho about Jimmy G if he didn't have his surgery? I know plenty of people out there would be like, yeah, of course they would. I don't know that. I do not know that. I don't know that. A part of his situation, surgery or not, is health. You know what I'm saying? And like, the surgery doesn't make that situation any better. But even besides that, he still had issues with injuries like his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So I don't aside from just his play, you know what I'm saying? Like aside from just his play and his cap hit. When I talk about Jimmy, it sounds like I'm just doing him bad. Like he's just a terrible quarterback. It's not that. He deserves to be a starter. He's better than, he's not the 32nd best quarterback in the league, but there's other factors too. It's your reliability in terms of your injury history. It's your contract. So like all those things factored in, and you got to trade for that. I just don't see like I never really saw a good avenue for him to get or us to get the return we were looking for in a trade. So adding in this whole surgery element to me, if I'm his team, I'm thinking maybe that's a way again to save face. To me, that's like a way to save face. Like, oh yeah, he had this surgery. We couldn't get him traded. So if he gets cut, like, oh, that's why. If the team nobody trades for him, it's not like he's like the last one standing. It's really just because he didn't get surgery, or really because he got surgery, I should say, and that's why teams didn't go for him. Like it's almost a way to save face. And I think what I said in the beginning, if you remember, my prediction was that we were going to trade him for like a 6th-round pick if we're able to trade him, something like that. And we were going to say like, oh, we wanted to do right by Jimmy. We could have got more from other places, but we want to do right by him. I think it's going to be a similar situation if he gets traded, which I don't even know if he's in. I just don't see him getting traded. But if he gets traded, I think it's going to be for nothing. And it's going to be like, yeah, the surgery really hurt and we wanted to do right by Jimmy. So this was the best situation, after everything kind of shook out in those musical chairs and we were the last one standing. But I feel like the Niners played themselves, though. I mean, I know they feel good about their situation. They feel good from what they say that, they have a good quarterback room. They have 3 quarterbacks. 3 who could start on teams when there's a bunch of teams in the league that have none. That's a quote from Shanahan, which is a crazy ass quote if you think about it. Like, are you really saying that Nate Sudfeld is a starter in this league, but other teams have none? Is that are you really going to make that statement?
Would he have said that?
That's such BS.
Yeah, I mean, because we coming from Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard. We coming from like him. I don't really remember. He hyped up Beathard more than Mullins, I feel like, but he definitely hyped up Beathard a lot.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, that was kind of like, yeah, what? But in terms of the Jimmy G thing, like I don't know. I'm just looking at it like this is my, I guess, perspective or my thoughts. It's kind of like, all right, I just feel like surgery, surgery is very invasive. It's very scary, and it's kind of like if you get cut open, even if you got great, the highest paid doctors, like there's, there's a million stories of things going wrong, and things getting messed up. So I
People held
just
off on Drew Brees after he had that surgery on his shoulder. I want to say, I think it was shoulder surgery.
right. I mean, because I just feel like it's dangerous. Like whenever you getting cut open, like it's just dangerous, bro. Like I mean, this is a kind of a rant, but like Eddie, he had hip surgery like
How's he doing?
hella months ago, and he still,
Yeah,
bruh still had
and
to
they
use
crutches.
his crutches, and he couldn't feel his foot. He went in with hip surgery, and couldn't feel his foot, and still can't feel his foot. You
Mhm.
feel me? And he's 35 years old, and he's like,
Mhm.
so he has to walk with crutches and it's been months, but you know, so I guess my point is saying like is like, all right, this is real serious, and I just feel like for him to get surgery, like maybe maybe he's either really feels like something's wrong with me, like something's really wrong with me. I need to get this fixed because I feel like that's when people run to surgery is when they really feel like, bro, like something is really wrong with me right now. Like something's really wrong with whatever it is, and then they get consulted, and he might have got like I don't know. This is like I said, my speculation, but you getting consulted by a doctor who's like, no, you need surgery. You have X, Y, and Z wrong, and then this is probably like the Niners doctors. This is where it might be getting a little weird, and the Niners doctors, we kind of advising them to do rehab, but I feel like a lot of times, people don't trust the team's doctors, so he
Mhm.
might have seen an outside
Kawhi
doctor and
Leonard. Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, even
Mhm.
Trent Williams when he was talking about I don't know if you
I
watched
didn't
that
see the full. I didn't see the full podcast, but go ahead.
yeah, he was just talking about his experience in
Washington.
Washington, and just basically how he had that thing on his
Hmm.
head for hella years, and
Hmm.
he kept on telling him about it, and he was like, "Bro, cut it out, cut it out. I need y'all to cut this out," and like they basically never did, because it was like if I do cut it out, it's gonna take too long,
Hmm.
and so they kind of create this narrative like, okay, well the team they just want us to be out there. So
Hmm.
maybe Jimmy, like, yeah, the team, they just want to trade me. But like, no, I really got something wrong with me. I need
Hmm.
to fix this. Like, so I don't know if that's kind of how I look at it. Like, I need to fix this. Like,
Yeah, I
F
think.
the team. F the team, like, I'm not on their time right now. I'm on my time.
Yeah, I mean, crazy things have happened this offseason in terms of trades, and I mean, it's been the craziest NFL offseason ever. Let's be real. But so you never know. So I feel like I have like very, very low expectations, but I have hope because maybe something happens. Maybe somebody gets hurt. I feel like Tua, who's had injury history, you know what I'm saying, at Alabama and Miami. Like if he gets hurt, like that's a prime location right there in Miami, for example. But then
For porn star Jimmy, yeah.
exactly. Well, I wasn't, Mike McDaniels was really the point I was making. But yeah, you can go port and start Jimmy with Miami as well. I know they do have a lot of, women in the industry for him. So, that's an option, so on a multitude of ways. So, yeah, I feel like crazier things have happened. There are injury prone QBs, things can happen, but it remains to be seen. We'll have to see. We'll have to monitor. I don't know if you've tapped in. I keep retweeting her. But there's that artist who has every day she draws Jimmy G every day until he gets traded. Basically, she has a picture of
Oh,
Jimmy
I
G.
seen it. But
Yeah.
wait, what is so what? I ain't really.
She
I
just
ain't really.
she just has an art project. Like her boyfriend was a Niners fan. They're in Peru. I don't want to get it wrong. They're in somewhere. I think it's like Peru or something like that. She, but she just like became a fan of Jimmy G. But like all of her pictures aren't like just pro Jimmy G. Like there's somewhere like it's just fun. Like it's just so dope. Like every single day. I think she's on day 55 right now or something like that. Every day that he's not traded, she posts a picture of Jimmy G. Today's was like what was today's? I think yesterday's was something like 300 with the whole Sparta vibe. Oh, today's was it was something with Shanahan. Oh, it was like Shanahan, a Toy Story, I think reference where Andy was throwing away his toys, and it was basically like Shanahan throwing away Jimmy. It was dope. So she is a very talented artist, and the project is dope. I think it's amazing. So I always retweet her every day that I can. Anyways, let's see what else do we have on the agenda, man. What's going on with the
That's pretty
team?
much it. I seen it. Somebody
Kaepernick.
in the chat.
You
Oh,
see
the
Kaepernick.
Cap.
Yeah,
What
did you see
happened with Cap?
Kaepernick? So Cap
Nah,
was at
do?
he was at
Oh, it's
Michigan.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Right?
he was at Michigan with the coach, man. He was at Michigan, man, with Harbaugh. At their, I guess like they're having spring games or whatever the case is right now. So Just Niner news. I just wanted to share that because it was interesting just seeing that image and that energy on the timeline. I was like, okay, that's dope, man. Like, I'm sure that was a good time, man, for all the players and just Harbaugh, bringing people back and stuff like that. I'm sure he's had Frank Gore up there and everything. I think there were stories about how he did. So, just interesting to me.
Yeah, and because I think Harbaugh was against the kneeling thing. I remember him. I think I remember him saying like, I remember him saying something about it. So that would have been, just that's kind of crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because it's Cap and Harbaugh, and like they probably had great. I don't want to say, they had a good relationship from what it seemed like.
Hey, bro, have you ever slapped somebody?
No, I ain't never slapped nobody.
Yeah, that's like a crazy thing to like. That it's crazy.
That's the most disrespectful thing ever.
Yeah, like Will Smith really has the most infamous slap now. Like that's wild. Like
for sure.
Like and it's
that's
like that's just
sure.
like slapping somebody. Like I don't know. This is like interesting. I was just thinking about that. I was going through the timeline seeing if there's anything else like with the Bobby Wagner situation. Oh, Arden Key to Jacksonville. We knew he was gonna go. I ain't gonna lie. I feel kind of good that he went to like Jacksonville and not like what I'm saying, like
Seattle,
exactly,
or the Rams or something like that.
Seattle is a perfect. I mean, I could just see him going to Seattle, right? So I don't know. Like Arden Key didn't work out with the Raiders. Coursera, especially towards the end of the season, like he just ended up being a solid player for us. It's not like he was just like the Pro Bowl player, but at the same time, I really liked him. I feel like he was different from a lot of these other guys that we've had, like Ebukam or even Hyder, who's coming back. I'm super, I don't want to say I'm super excited. Happy with having Hyder back. I don't want to sound like I'm hating. Like I'm happy Hyder's back. I feel like he's somebody who gives 110% effort every single play. Like, and that's dope. You need to have players like that on your team. But I just feel like Arden Key brought something a little bit more special. Clearly, he was a higher draft pick, and for a reason. Like guys have traits, they have physical, capabilities, and I feel like I don't know. He just had a little bit more. So for that $5 million extra, I would have really preferred to have Key back.
All right. So he did, but it's like, I mean, we sucked the year previous, and we didn't have no Nick Bosa, so it's kind of like
that's true.
There was like nothing
with that.
Like Key made big plays, like in big games, like against the Rams, like the that game. It just he made big play. He made like sacks down the stretch. I ain't saying like Hyder is, who we're gonna see. He was balling that year though. He was balling that year. We just sucked that year, but he was balling. We didn't have Boza. We weren't playing for anything. And then this year it's not like he's he just went to the Seahawks and did the same, so. But it's like, man, if you could ball how he did, if he could produce the same way he did in 2020, I mean that'd be great news. But yeah, D-line took some hits. We got him. We got Arden Key going. We got DJ Jones going. So a few hits right there.
Yeah, man, we definitely took our hits. Tomlinson.
But don't worry though, bro. Javon Kinlaw is looking in the best shape of his life.
Hey man, I told you had the interview with Brad, which was dope. Definitely tap into that. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. A lot of reasons to not. We haven't made too many big moves, and the main move is the whole Jimmy G thing. At the end of the day, that's what it always comes down to. That's what every podcast, everything comes down to. And that's aside from literally just like trading him or not trading him, that's really the downfall of all this. And people allude to the awkwardness that may come and whatnot. But just even for content creators and stuff, I just want to be done with it, man. I just really want to be done with it, man.
And Shanahan, he not gonna be done with it either. He not it would be one thing it would. I feel it. It would be great if Jimmy G came back and he's like, all right, Trey starting, Jimmy G to back up. That's everybody. I feel like will be like, all right, people might not like it because he'd be like, all right, but Shanahan, he not gonna do that. He even said I'm something like, okay, we're gonna do this again. We doing this whole we doing this whole thing again where Jimmy's gonna start, Trey's gonna start. No, Trey's what are they doing with Trey? We're gonna do this whole thing again. Huh?
I'm tired, man. I honestly am just tired, but it is what it is. Off season's young. We'll see what happens. But Jimmy ain't getting traded anytime soon. We'll say that. I think that's pretty sure thing. The next thing on deck is really the draft. And I know you haven't really been tapping into prospects. I haven't even been tapping in as much as I was earlier before the combine. Because I just especially when you don't have like a first round draft pick, it's really tough to predict, especially with our team. Like I feel like we should be offensive line heavy. We'll see what we do. But I definitely think we're going to take a center within the first 3 rounds, but you never know. I feel like we're going to invest in that offensive line, or at least that's what I think we need to do. I don't think we're going to get, when you do them draft breakdowns, really, I feel like, I don't know. Most people look at wide receivers, edge, and corners. Like, you know, some people look at other positions as well, but like those are the main positions people look at. And it's like, I just don't feel like we're going to get a wide receiver high. I don't feel like we're going to get a corner high. Maybe we will, but I don't think we will. An edge, definitely maybe get an edge, but who the hell is going to be available when we pick? Like, I don't even know who's going to be available at that point. People used to be saying before the combine, Boye Mafe from Minnesota, like, hell no, he's not going to be around. I know you probably don't even know who that is, which is completely fine because we're not going to get him. And that's the whole thing with analyzing people, breaking down prospects. It's like you doing all this work. The dopest thing about it is when you're able to watch NFL Game Pass or, you know, just tap into the NFL, which so much of us are not just Niners fans, we're NFL fans, right? So being able to like know where certain players go, being able to be right or wrong on prospects based on, oh, I would have got this guy. Oh, that's a good pick. That's a bad pick. That's the dope aspect of it. But in actually prospects of that player playing on your team, in this case being the 49ers, not going to happen. Like, that's just not going to happen. It's very, very few in between that we get guys that we think we're going to get. It just doesn't happen. So,
hey, bro, I feel like the dopest time we did like some draft stuff was that DGB draft class.
Yeah, man. Dorial Green Beckham. Was that the Verrett class?
No, that was Verrett. We wasn't doing podcasts that year. That was when Jimmy Ward came out. Like we wasn't on the podcast hype that year. But we was on it the next year. But yeah, I think that was the year when DGB
had some domestic violence. I think he had some alcoholism and some sort of drug. I don't know, but what did he go to Tennessee? I don't remember where he went, but didn't pan out for him. And you know, we didn't just think he was gonna be like just automatically raw, but he was like a boomer bust kind of process.
Yeah, he was hella controversial to talk about. Like people was, and then, like I think Marcus Peters is coming out that year. I just feel like that was like we did like a mock draft, but that shit was kind of lit though.
Yeah.
No, I remember during draft day, you was like running around or something, and like I remember we was like going live or something. And,
I
drank hella wine. My head was
on that one platform. I forget what that platform was called, but yeah, we definitely did. We was going live. It was lit. I remember I was coming back from work, and I was moving around.
And we drafted Armstead.
Drafted Armstead. Very very anticlimactic. But yeah, who else was even an option at that point? Like, what was like? Were we looking
Marcus
at, like,
Peters.
Some DBs. I just remember it was
Marcus
DBs.
Peters. I just remember him. And I remember. Everybody wanted DGB, and like shit, I forget. But yeah,
Armstead's still on the team, and that's what's up. But anything else going on, man? 49ers or otherwise that you wanted to shout out? I just watched the first episode of Moon Knight. I know I tweeted about that for all the big Marvels fans. There's so many Marvels fans on the timeline. I'm always tapping in with and getting their response with. Definitely a different show, man. But I'm liking it. So we'll see where it goes. Anything else, man, you wanted to hit on before we sign off of this thing?
Nah, man. I mean, shit. Yep, nothing really. Just it's about to be spring break. We're finna be out there on Sunday.
Hey, yeah, tapping in, man. Last time you came through, we went to the Week 18 Niners-Rams game, which was one of the best 49ers games in history of the team for the regular season, even outside of the regular season. One of the best games ever that we've had. I don't know if you saw Cooper Kupp's comment. Was it Cooper Kupp or Matt Stafford? No. Andrew Whitworth, who was on Colin Cowherd last week. He was commenting that game basically allowed them to win the Super Bowl, specifically because it prepped them for like those scenarios, but also because it prepped them for the Niner takeover that was to be in the NFC Championship game. It prepped them for playing us yet again. It prepped them for how to really close out games. He was like, that's the most important thing that we learned from it, is like just closing out games and the importance of like fourth quarters and whatnot. Just all that type of stuff. So
did you hear Jalen Ramsey?
With Debo?
He's talking about Debo, but he was also talking about the Niners.
I didn't hear him say anything about that.
Yeah, he was talking about their playoff run. And then when he got to us, he was talking about he just was, it's Jalen Ramsey. I just feel like he don't be
giving love.
Giving love.
Yeah.
But he really was kind of nah, they really had us, we really had their number, which I know we were 6-0, so we had their number, but he really felt that way too, and they felt that way, and so. It just was like, okay, they really respect the squad. Like they really respect this.
I think I know this isn't your attention with the comment, but it kind of brings me back to the whole Jimmy G situation because I feel like Jimmy G's probably like people like, oh, if we traded him, like it's future money and stuff, like it's not really affecting the cap this year. There's not really much more we could have done. Like we wouldn't have made any different moves if he wasn't on the team. Like all those sort of things. Like there's no benefit to cutting him because it's not. My whole thing is like I feel like there's no way to tell this. This is just my opinion. There's no way to foresee and predict, but I just think we're a team that's been very close. And, you can look at it that in the positive way. Like people always say like, oh, we are one play away from winning the Super Bowl or one play away from, beating the Rams this year and going to the Super Bowl again. But on the flip side, you're also one play away from not even being there. You're one play away from not even being in the playoffs. You're one play. There's
that's literally. Did you hear Jay York? That's literally what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think to the point with that though is like the small things can help get you over the hump, even if it's just like one player, one key addition. One of those situations. Oh, we got this guy. Like that is the difference from making the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, or not. Like that could be the difference. And I just feel like we're in a situation where we're always close. So just hearing you talk about Jalen Ramsey talk about us, it's like, man, like, yeah, that team really had our number. They really, but we were able to beat them, and blah, blah. It's like, damn, like, yeah, we were super close and we got the respect and we have the, but it's like it doesn't matter because we don't have, close but no cigar. And I feel like this year I'm fully expecting when the season starts, when the games play out, it's week by week, and we'll have to see where it goes from there. But I just know right now my mindset is like, yeah, we potentially anything could happen this season. I'm not expecting anything, but like we definitely could be really good again. We could get to the playoffs. We could be in it, but I just don't. I feel like we're going to be one thing, short of really getting it done. And not having Jimmy on the team and having somebody else in his place with that money, doing something else with that money. I would hate that. In a hypothetical world, that could be the difference for us. And I feel like that it's nothing you could predict, nothing you could tell. These are hidden things that you won't be able to see, but those are the things that I feel like matter between like winning and losing. And it's such a thin line and it's such a fine line. And I would want to do everything we can while we have all these paid players and we have players to pay coming up. I want to do everything to put your chips in the table, have a cost-controlled quarterback, and only one of those guys is going to play. Go with the one that's more dynamic. Go with the guy where, yes, there's more unknown, but his highs can potentially take you higher. And I feel like we're potentially not going to do that, or we may go with him, but just have Jimmy on the roster at $25 million, which to me is like malpractice. But I get that the team's gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm rocking with the team. Like I have faith in Shanahan, faith in the team. But I just feel like they are.
Hey, so you are totally opposed to
100%
having a backup
100%.
who is like
100%.
who is approving
100%. 100%.
You not scarred by
totally opposed. 100% opposed. There's no ounce of my body that wants to see Jimmy G on the team. I was over Jimmy G. Like, there's no ounce of my body that wants to see Jimmy G on the team next year. It's not even saying he's a terrible quarterback again and all those sort of things. There's a lot of factors to that comment. His injury history, his price, what we could be doing otherwise. Like the energy of just having Trey Lance, there and Jimmy G's still on the team with guys like Kittle and stuff who have, Trey Lance throws 2-3 interceptions in week 2 and we lose the game. It's like guys are like, well, Jimmy G could come in right now and like I just don't even want it. I don't even want it. It's about the long term for me, and I just don't.
What Shanahan said, Trey's not an insecure guy.
Well, I don't think that's fair. Look, it all could work out. I mean, this could be the thing that pushes us over the top. That like you saw Aaron Rodgers MVP, energy from you can argue having part of it having Jordan Love on the team. Aaron Rodgers, talking about him again, he sat for I don't know how many years before he started and turned out great. It could end up being a great thing if Trey's not playing. I don't have the psychic abilities to tell the future. I just know that's not what I want to see. That's not the route I want to go. We did it last year. This is 2022. It's a different NFL. I know Jed York, you brought him up. He also brought up Joe Montana and Steve Young. Well, I get the point he was making. There's obvious, there's a lot of holes in that you can make, but I get the point he was making. But it's Jimmy G. Yeah, I'm ready to move on. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not trying to, make this a negative podcast and all that. I'm ready to move on. And there's not one ounce that wants to see him on the team. And I feel like the team is more so the point I'm making is I think the team is their arrogance, their not being able to move off of something and not realize what a sunk cost is because he's a good player. You know, those things are, I think, could be potentially fatal flaws. I could be wrong. I'm just, you know, here with a podcast, bringing my opinion. But I think those could be fatal flaws in a league where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Los Angeles Rams have shown you that it's important to go all in. And I think we need to do that. The Los Angeles Chargers, a team that's signing so many players and stuff, like, it's time to go all in. You know, let's get a guy like Khalil Mack. It's time to go all in. You know,
That's how I feel it. And then I guess you're a process guy, so
yeah,
this is their process.
This is their process. Absolutely, I don't agree with it, but I'm I with it. I see how they, like, they definitely, this is what they do. This is their MO. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. It just seems so ridiculous and crazy. How much we've invested in Trey to just turn around and be paying Jimmy still and having him on the team. Just, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. It's insane, but that's what we're doing, man. So we gonna rock with that. So, all right, well, we're gonna wrap up like that, man. We appreciate everybody who rocked with us, man. Everybody in the comment section, everybody who tapped into us at 49x365. Make sure y'all tap in on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, and make sure y'all tap in with us on the Tonite Show. We do this on Tuesdays. We had to switch it up today due to some scheduling issues I had. That's on me, but we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Let us know in the comment section, man, what you think about the offseason, how you think the team is moving, what you feel about this whole Jimmy G situation, the surgery, all that good stuff, man, at 49x365. This is the Tonite Show. My name is B. Amechi. As always, I'm with JB.
We out. Hey, faithful. Stand up, baby.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to be on the Tonight Show.